P9 over here just chilling in little bitty Villa Rica, Georgia, right here at the Mill Amphitheater. And this is one of the dope spots that we're going to check out right here on this vlog. Villa Rica, Georgia. Let's go. Good afternoon, good people. This is P9 with another vlog, and I'm in the city of Villa Rica, Georgia, located in both Carroll and Douglas counties in West Georgia. Now, Villa Rica in Spanish and Portuguese translation is rich village with a population of 16,970. And here we are in downtown Villa Rica. Before we continue, we're going to start things off with a little bit of history pertaining to the Freedom Riders in Villa Rica. The Villa Rica bus station was located at this site right over here, which is now occupied by Hanger Consignment Clothing Company. And it was formerly located on this site and was on the route of the 1961 Freedom Ride that departed Washington, D.C. on May 4th, 1961. With New Orleans, Louisiana as its final destination. So the Freedom Riders were civil rights activists who rode public buses on interstate routes through the Southeast to test rulings outlawing racial segregation. Now, while the resolve of the Freedom Riders was challenged by violence elsewhere, they passed through Villa Rica without serious incident on May 14th, 1961. And here's the route. Again, Washington, D.C. is where it started. And we see Atlanta right over here and Villa Rica right outside of Atlanta. And it carried on all the way to New Orleans. So, yep, right outside this Hanger Consignment Shop is used to be a bus station where the Freedom Riders stopped en route to New Orleans from Washington, D.C. So it's pretty cool history right there. Now, Villa Rica, as far as Villa Rica itself, where it's located, it was settled in 1826 on land ceded by the Creeks. So the Creeks were the indigenous of this area. It was in the Second Treaty of Indian Springs, which was signed by Chief William McIntosh. So you had gold miners arrive from Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey and Delaware. And at the time, it was called Hickstown. And 1 mile south was Chiefstown. So Villa Rica was officially incorporated in 1881, 50 plus years after it was founded. As you can see, you have the salon right here, Uppercut Salon. Downtown Bistro. So there's more buildings over there on the other side of the railroad tracks. The name of this road right here, this stretch of road is Bankhead Highway, which serves as Georgia Highway 8 and US 78, or US 78. So this main drag right here, downtown, there's a couple of boutique shops. There's one right here, Stephanie's Boutique. You have a pet day spa right here, adorable pet spa. I have a dance academy down here. Hey. A Chat and True Diner, established in 2011. So whether you eat or drink, or whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. 1 Corinthians 10:31. Amen. Amen. You know, when I spot those scriptures, you know, I be needing some inspiration. And this is the site of the Villa Rica explosion, which took place around 11 a.m. on December 5th, 1957, where a natural gas leak under Barry's Pharmacy caused an explosion that destroyed 4 buildings and damaged several others in Villa Rica's downtown. Now, this explosion killed 12 and injured 20, and the tragedy highlighted the need for both an organized level of local emergency response units and the use of odor in the natural gas supply. The civil defense unit that resulted became a model for West Georgia. An ensuing litigation placed a considerable financial burden on the city, suppressing economic development for years. And in terms of injury and loss of life, the explosion remains the most catastrophic event in Carroll County history. Wow, that's crazy. That's some crazy history. Yeah, that's really sad to hear. But things like that can happen. Those type of disasters. Infinite Games. Okay, so they got Superman. You got the Gremlins right there. You got the Alien right there. Dragon. You got Super Mario and Pac-Man. And they actually have an Infinicon event coming up October 31st, so Halloween Day at Villa Rica Amphitheater. It's pretty dope. Yeah, so all the gamers out there, they do have something down here in little Villa Rica. They even have this "Welcome to Historic Villa Rica, Drink Coca-Cola" sign. Of course, drink Coca-Cola is a registered trademark. It's a nice mural over here on Candler Street. Also have this tavern. Now, this building once served as the Bank of Villa Rica, which is Carroll County's oldest financial institution. It served in this capacity from May 1899 to June 1996. And the Bank of Villa Rica was Carroll County's oldest financial institution and was one of the oldest financial institutions in the state of Georgia. And the bank was chartered with $15,000 of capital when it opened in 1899. And it was one of the few banks that survived the Great Depression. That's tough right there. And this building served as the main bank of Villa Rica from 1899 until February 1974. And from this site and subsequent locations, the bank served the community for 97 years. It's interesting that they said that about it surviving the Great Depression, because when those banks lost the money, people that had accounts, they had their money tied in with the banks. And those accounts in those banks, when they shut down, they weren't insured. This is before the FDIC took place, the Federal Deposit Insurance Commission. That's before that was established. So, you know, when those banks crashed due to the Great Depression, people lost their money and was never able to recuperate it. Now I understand why you had some people put their money underneath the mattress back during that time. Yeah. Okay, Collins Family Food and Barbecue. Villa Rica's home of Memphis style barbecue. So apparently they serve Memphis style barbecue here. Sits next to this Hair Villa Salon. Creative Cowboys Media. And they have an architects and design company right here, Rickman Architect and Design. RAD for short. I forgot to mention, they have this photography studio, Stephanie Warmouth photography studio, and they have this acting studio right here where they have workshops, acting workshops and competitions right here in Villa Rica. And it looks like they have a cutout of, I believe that's James Dean, the legendary James Dean. So that's cool that they offer those type of services here in Villa Rica. And they have this bench right here in memory of J. Hoyt Thomas, the Villa Rica Lions Club Restoration Project. Okay. And they also have this mural right here. It's by Alan Kayukendal. I remember seeing that name when I was in Tallapoosa earlier. I'm just gonna say Alan, because I can't pronounce the last name, but it's a really nice mural. Shows a bunch of people. There was a airplane up there, symbolizing aviation. Looks like some country stars right here, some country music stars, Western stars. Movie Tone News. Huh. So I wonder if it's supposed to be like a theater or something. I'm not quite sure what this is and really what this mural symbolizes, but I see a few empty storefronts over here. They do have an insurance agency right here. Amazing Grace Hospice Care. And further down this way, kind of like a residential area. Some houses down that way. Let's keep it moving. Richardson Coal and Hardware Incorporated. They do plywood, insulation, and roofing. CrossFit Villa Rica across the street. But right over here is you have historic Wick's Tavern. Now this is known, this was built in 1830. Wick's Tavern, as you can see right here, was built in 1830. And it is known to be West Georgia's oldest commercial structure. 1830, so you can see back then they were riding in wagons and stuff like that, as you can see, wagons and yeah, before the modern automobile, way before the modern automobile. So, yep. Wick's Tavern, West Georgia's oldest commercial structure. Got these painted rocks right here. It's really nice artwork. Very creative. These painted rocks that sit next to the railroad tracks. That one's carved out so that they could make a design of a tunnel. And you can see it looks like a train passing through the tunnel. And a night sky overhead. Very creative. And I also like how they have this arrangement of flowers in these baskets hanging off of this light pole with the banner of Mr. Thomas A. Dorsey, father of gospel music. It's really nice. Of course, Nice gardening. And this is a really nice sculpture right here. It's called the Tattered Genoa. As you can see right here. Artist Carlos Anduzzi, or Anduzzi. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. In sailing terms, a Genoa is a small sail at the bow of a sailboat that assists in the steering of a boat. On a beautiful day, while sailing in the Bahamas, the artist and friends were surprised by a gale coming out of nowhere, ripping the Genoa to shreds. While the Genoa is a small sail, it is relevant to the maneuvering of the boat. Unable to steer the boat and fighting high winds, their only recourse was to run the boat aground to prevent capsizing. Years later, while recounting the story to friends, the artist envisioned the image that Genoa and that harrowing experience he and his friends had experienced. Thus, the sculpture was created, and one can envision the sail, the rips through the tattering, in the piece, the silver contrast. And again, that's by Carlos Anduzzi. He did a really nice job, and really good, interesting backstory as in regards to how he even came up with the composition of this really dope piece of art. Again, it's the Tattered Genoa. It's a sculpture right here that sits by the railroad tracks, downtown Villa Rica. And you know, you guys, anybody who's been following me long enough, who's been subscribed to my channel and been watching the content, know I love me some good sculptures. So this is a nice looking art piece right here as well. This is sick. This is really nice. I like the colors. I'm not sure what this symbolizes. Sometimes it's abstract art that has a hidden meaning, but we just might not understand it, but we'd appreciate the colors and the designs. Here's a picture of some railroad tracks. A drawing of some railroad tracks, I should say. Really nicely designed artwork, and you have this these benches right here that you could kind of chill over while just enjoying the scenery. Bob and Ginger Morgan, with loving regards, the girls, grandkids, and the great grandkids. Memory of Margaret M. Barry from her children, Valerie, Kip, and Rand. So nicely that they have these benches and dedication. And always remember, but never forgotten, John W. Runyon Jr. and Bert Hallsworth. R.I.P. to every last one of them. And just want to get this. Now, I'm not sure. I never really noticed before. This is the first time I saw one with a name on the paint. I mean, on the rock. And this is at Patrice.paints, the social media handle. So shout out to Patrice Paints for this beautiful piece of artwork. On his guitar, it has Proverbs 3:6. So it has a sister with the feather as the earring, feather earring, strumming the guitar. The bird on her shoulder, strumming to those beautiful tunes. Beautiful tunes, musical notes. Precious land, take my hand, lead me and let me stand. And this is from Thomas Dorsey, the father of gospel music. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me and let me stand. Amen to that. Beautiful artwork by Patrice Paints. Musical notes and everything. Love me some great art. This home right here that has been historically preserved was built in 1892 in Queen Anne Victorian style. As you can see, it has a distinctive pink porch interior. So it has a porch that pretty much wraps around. It's a really nice Victorian style home. And it's really nice home, historic, built 1892. Temple Medical Clinic right here. Got this area fenced off. I guess they're leasing this building out. We're at Main Street Food Market. That's probably what it's getting ready to be. Like it's probably, looks like the Main Street Food Market is in the process of being built or opening after eventually. And a home furnishing market and boutique right here. So some more small shops in downtown Villa Rica. And to keep in mind, this is on the other side of the tracks. Check that out. See that blue car right there? It's a Dodge Dart. That look like it's from back in like the 50s or 60s or something. It's really dope. You know, check out this mural right here. Thomas A. Dorsey. City of Gold. So yeah, so it was a place where, you know, the settlers would come because of its location of where gold was located. So I didn't really know that West Georgia had presence of gold, but they did apparently. And there goes the locomotive from back in 1881, the year that Villa Rica was officially incorporated. Now, Christian did this mural that illustrates the history of Villa Rica in its early days. So it's a gold prospector right here, searching for gold. Now, see why it was called the Rich Village, because it had gold. Now, this gentleman right here, Thomas A. Dorsey, he was a classical music composer, African-American brother, who developed a bunch of gospel music in the early 20th century, as well as blues music. So that's him right here. He was born and raised in Villa Rica. So Thomas A. Dorsey is his name for those. He was known as the father of gospel music. So for those who are unaware, this is actually my first time hearing about him, honestly. But yeah, Thomas A. Dorsey, I'm gonna look him up, check out his early compositions, because I always like to hear about classical composers, older musicians and everything like that. And this is actually on the side of a brewing company called Hickstown Brewing Company. Hickstown was what Villa Rica was called before it was Villa Rica. Got a little something going on right here by these tracks. A couple of rocks and this wooden fence, wooden small fence. Guess they have a farmer's market over here as well. Looks like an antique shop, perhaps over across the street. An antique shop, perhaps maybe even a secondhand store called James. (926 West). Looks like one of those boutiques. They have an eclectic decor shop over there. So it's pretty cool that they have a bunch of restaurants and shops on both sides of the tracks. Main Street Mercantile over there. You cross right here. I have a little seating area over here. I have a couple of trees planted over here, one of them is dedicated to Brenda Busbin Collins, 2003. You have this bench in memory of Ron Glaze. You have this tree in memory of Sue Bentley Taylor. This bench in memory of Margaret McWilliams. And this tree right here is dedicated to Mary Ann Sauls. So it's nice that there's another one right here. This one looks like it doesn't have much leaves. But this one's in memory of Charles Wynn. Shout out to each and every one of them. It's cool that they dedicated those trees in memory of them. Some more shops over here. They got a nutrition shop, a music store over there, realty shop, and a barber shop. Mirrors of Beauty. And this is an article that talks about Villa Rica's textile industry, which in the early 1900s, several textile mills and warehouses lined Villa Rica's Main Street. The mills provided an economic stimulus for decades as the transition was made from agricultural to industrial products. The cotton mills paid cash wages, providing needed relief to struggling farm families, and the Continental Gin Company installed 2 automatic hydraulic presses which double cleaned the cotton in Villa Rica's cotton oil mill. And these presses were the first of this type to be installed in the state of Georgia. They served as demonstration models for visitors from throughout the Southeast who came to observe the new technology. So that was pretty cutting edge at that time, you know, when they used hydraulic presses to clean the cotton out, because the cotton did get dirty, especially in transition from market to market. So they had to clean the cotton, you know, for development and everything like that. They use hydraulics to do that, hydraulic process. Pretty cool. They riding some nice whips down here in Villa Rica. They got this, look at this old school Camaro 350. That's a sick color too. It's like a olive green, kind of beige olive. Well, it's more olive green, but that's what it looks like from my vantage point. Antiques. So another antique shop over there. Gabee's, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, Gabee's Downtown Louisiana Bistro. Now I saw that across the street, so this same restaurant across the street, or at least where it used to be. So they must have used to be over there and then they moved it over here. Oh, it's Gabe's. Excuse me, it's Gabe's. It's in cursive writing, so I thought it was an extra E. Gabe's Downtown Louisiana Bistro. Yeah, they used to be located over there because I saw the logo over there earlier. They have catering and events and everything like that. And they also have another Lost Cowboys Mexican restaurant. Saw one of these earlier when I was in Buchanan. Georgia earlier. So they at least have two of them. They must be a chain of restaurants. They have nice artwork. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say our guy Jesus did the artwork. Again, showcasing Mexican heritage. See, the wind is blowing a little bit. But I like the little dining area they have out here at Lost Cowboys. That's cool. Of course, Coronas. That's their favorite type of beer. And it's the Villa Rica Lodge number 72. Historic building. This is the Villa Rica Police Department. Okay, shouts out to the Villa Rica Police Department. Pleasant Eugene Holt, Villa Rica Town Marshal, killed in the line of duty, April 18th, 1908. RIP and salute to Mr. Holt. And this is in dedication of Captain Robbie E. Bishop, Villa Rica Police Department, killed in the line of duty in January of 1999. So RIP to Mr. Holt and Captain Bishop. Right outside here, the city of Villa Rica Police Department, Holt Bishop Justice Center. So it was named after those gentlemen. There goes the Villa Rica Police Squad car. And this City Hall right here, Villa Rica City Hall. Charlie Raven chapter, memory of the deceased comrades. Here are all their names right here. RIP to all of those. A message to the future generations. It's a nice little dedication. Sits outside of the Villa Rica City Hall. Right there on Main Street. Which brings us to a very modern structure, a very modern park right here, called the Mill Amphitheater. So this is where they have a lot of their outdoor events right here in Villa Rica. And they even have a Thomas Dorsey Festival coming up on Saturday, June the 27th. 5 to 10 p.m. right here at the amphitheater. There goes Mr. Dorsey right there. And they have farmers markets here. And they had a Juneteenth celebration here a few days ago. And Let's Sing Taylor tributes, live tribute show. Okay. And this Mill Amphitheater is located on the site what once was the heart of commerce in Villa Rica for more than 100 years. And it was a 2-block area to the east of here that was developed by the Villa Rica Cotton Oil Mill, whose president was W.B. Chandler. The original brick buildings were first used as warehouses to store the cotton bales made at the Cotton Gin building, which was also on this site. The Power and Mill Electric and Power Company, or the Electric Light and Power Company, was incorporated and occupied as part of the complex, and is soon followed by the ice plant and Coca-Cola bottling plant. And the first Coca-Cola bottles used here had the name of the Electric Light Company imprinted on them. A fertilizer plant was later added in 1908. So this was essentially a manufacturing area over here. No wonder it's called the Mill. No wonder it's called the Mill. I was wondering if it was like a old manufacturing complex in this area. And this is like, and this building right here actually serves as a concession stand. And here is the city seal. It has the scales on there, scales of balance. City of Villa Rica, 1826, Villa Rica, Georgia, city of gold. It's very nice. And there goes the amphitheater right over there. Looks like a very relaxing place to come chill. Yeah, so that's just the concession stands right there. You know, they have this flag over here. Basically in honor of all the men and women, first responders, and those victims in the September 11th. So we make our way, go ahead and make our way down here to the amphitheater, or at least on the grassy part. It's a really nice place to come pull out some folding chairs, you know, lay out some blankets and just relax and vibe. Even if there's no live music events going on, it's just a good place to relax, you know, take a walk, take a stroll, and actually, you know, maybe read a book or something. Just relax. And here's a marker for our guy Thomas Andrew Dorsey, who we learned about at the mural a few minutes ago. He was born July 1st, 1899 in Villa Rica. Learned to play the piano as a young man, and his blues style combined with Southern Christian praise songs earned him the title Father of Gospel Music. His best known compositions were Take My Hand, Precious Lord, and Peace in the Valley, though he is credited with over 400 blues and jazz songs. And in 2002, the Library of Congress honored his album Precious Lord, New Recordings of Great Songs, Thomas Dorsey, by adding it to the U.S. National Recording Registry. And that's Mr. Thomas Dorsey right there. So yeah, I did not know anything about him, but I'm gonna definitely check out his compositions. Peace in the Valley, Take My Hand, Precious Lord, and much more. So I like how Villa Rica paid homage to its native son, Mr. Thomas A. Dorsey. Now here's the Mill Amphitheater, which was built in 2010 at the J. Collins Mayor. That was the Villa Rica, the Villa Rica City Council during that time. Former City Councilman, Carroll County Board of Commissioners. Architect was MacTech Inc. So shout out to MacTech Inc. and all the council members and the mayor for making this really nice amphitheater. I'm pretty sure the locals and visitors alike appreciate it. And this is in honor of Ashley Williamson. So I like how they honor their different, I want to say those are probably, those people we saw honored by those trees are most likely natives of Villa Rica. Yeah, here's a view of it from over here. And in this building hosts the restrooms. So the restrooms are over here. If you ever need to relieve yourself while chilling out here. Golden City Cruisers. I'm sure they're probably a local sponsor of this park. And look at the cutout design of the Chevy. The front of this red Chevy, the grill and all of that. That's pretty dope. Route 78, which is where Villa Rica is located off of. And they have this painting that says, "Thank you for visiting Villa Rica, Georgia." So this would just be for somebody who's on their way out of Villa Rica. It's pretty cool. Really nice artwork. Doesn't have a name on it, so I'm not sure who did it. I'm guessing the guy who did the mural that we looked at earlier did it. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is Villa Rica Mill Amphitheater, City of Gold. And I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to watch this vlog. This concludes the vlog. If you made it this far, make sure you tap that like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you tap that subscribe button along with the notification bell. And once you hit the bell, make sure you select all. That way you get notified every time I drop a new vlog. With that in mind, good people, this is P9 signing out from Villa Rica, Georgia. Peace.